Hey, it's that time of the month again, which is the beginning of the month, where I'm going to talk about the previous month. You know what I'm talking about. It's time for what I watched in March. And honestly, this video is going to be very short because I somehow didn't watch a whole lot of movies in March. I watched some TV shows. I got caught up on Tokyo Vice, and I watched some Star Trek, and I watched some Outer Limits and some Twilight Zone, because I'm going to be doing a video on anthology shows. So, I have been brushing up on those a little bit. But movie-wise, I really didn't watch much of anything, which is weird. And I will try to rectify that this month because I don't know. I feel like I literally only have 9 movies to talk about, and one of them I also watched in February. So it's like technically I kind of only have 8, which I mean it's fine, but it's just very surprising. So without further ado, I will talk about the movies that I watched either in theaters or on streaming that I don't physically have. So I'll get the one out of the way that I've already talked about, and that was Dune Part 2. I watched it again, like literally a couple of days later. I think I watched Dune 2 opening day, and then so that was like Thursday, and then literally I think a week later I saw it again in theaters. Because I was on vacation from work. That's when I watched it again. Which is also weird, honestly. Because I was on vacation from work, and I figured I would probably watch a ton of movies since I'm on vacation from work, and I did not. So, pretty wasted week of me doing a whole bunch of other stuff that just wasn't watching movies. But that's fine. It's just lame. I should have been using that time for other things. So, next up, I watched a Japanese movie called The Golden Bat, and it's also known as The Golden Ninja. I don't know which one is the official title. So this was streaming on Tubi, and it came out in the 60s. It's in black and white, and it was a ton of fun. I really liked that movie. Basically, Earth is being attacked by aliens, kinda. It's more like there's a rogue planet that's heading towards Earth, and the aliens are like, hey, we want this to hit Earth, and everybody's like, you aliens are jerks. So what do? They go to Atlantis, and they awaken an ancient mummy. And the mummy is like, well, I mean, he cracks up nonstop. But when he's not laughing, he's like, I'm going to fight these aliens for you. And I will stop this planet from hitting Earth. So that's kind of what happens. And it was really fun. It was like a pretty early iteration of the tokusatsu genre, which are I don't know, it's basically like superheroes, like that kind of thing. Think like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, bunch of other random stuff. It's basically Japan's version of like the superhero genre, if I had to really, really simplify it. That's like the easiest explanation, and I'm probably gonna have people being like, that's not what that is, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, you probably know more than I do. So good times. Anyway, the next thing I watched was a short movie called The ABCs of Book Banning, and it just made me real mad. I mean, it was a great documentary. I liked it a lot, but I just can't get behind banning books, and this was all about that. And I'm not so much right now. I go through spurts where I read a whole lot, but I mean, honestly, like growing up, I read all the time. It was kind of one of the main things that I did, And so, I don't know, books and libraries and stuff have a very special place in my heart. And, like, you know, having some people in the US want to ban certain books because they don't meet their stupid criteria of what is appropriate is dumb. And if you think that certain books should be banned, I stopped myself from saying something rude. We will agree to disagree because I think that, you know, it should just be out there, right? Like, just be a better parent rather than think that no kid ever should read a certain thing. It's not a big deal. People think that exposing kids to, like, the fact that gay people exist, and the people that think that doing that is a bad thing are dumb. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. All of these people are fools. Anybody that thinks that knowledge should be hidden away or that life will just, not exist if you protect your kid, it's stupid. It's dumb. I mean, not even related to kids. These people want everything banned that they don't agree with, and that's stupid and unrealistic, and they are a bunch of fools, and that kind of thing should never happen. So, the next thing that I watched that I don't physically have was a horror movie called Stopmotion. It was really good. It came out this year. I saw a trailer for it, I don't know, a couple months ago maybe, and we just rented it on Amazon. And yeah, it's kind of like a psychological horror movie that's also really, 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 really gnarly. Like, very, very gnarly. Um, it's about a woman that makes little stop motion movies, and she has a psychological break, and she thinks that the stop motion things are doing things like moving on their own and all this stuff. Or are they? Maybe it's not in her head. I don't know. All I'm going to say is there's a lot of crazy gore and really cool special effects. And if you like stop motion, obviously this is about that. I love stop motion videos. Like, anytime that effect is used, I just think it looks so cool. I mean, Empire Strikes Back, Mad God, Puppet Master, I think had some stop motion. Obviously Ray Harryhausen. I already talked about Mad God, but like Phil Tippett in general, anything he worked on is rad. So yeah, if you're a fan of stop motion, definitely check out the horror movie Stop Motion, because I thought it was pretty solid, and I don't know, I thought it was really cool, so I definitely recommend it. And yeah, some of the gore and stuff is surprisingly gnarly. There were a couple of parts where I was just like, oh wow, okay, you're doing that, cool. So pretty good. Then I also watched a movie called Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is based on the game series of the same name. My buddy Sean loaned it to me. He has it on DVD. And so I'm about to gather together a whole bunch of movies to loan him. But yeah, the video game or the movie adaptation of the video game was pretty awesome. It was directed by Takashi Miike, who also did Audition and Ichi the Killer and the Blade of the Immortal adaptation and 13 Assassins and like over 100 other movies. The dude is crazy prolific. But yeah, the movie definitely captured the like crazy vibe of the games, which was fun. The dude that played Kiryu was all right, but I really liked the guy that played Majima. So I don't know. If you haven't played the games, none of that means anything. But if you have played the games, it's pretty great. I think it came out in like 2000, like the mid 2000s, like maybe 2007, 2008, something like that. I don't know off the top of my head, but I thought it was great. Lots of cool action, lots of just, you know, crazy stuff that happened and everything. It was cool. Some of the characters I was a little like on, but um, overall I thought it was a very very fun movie. Speaking of fun movies, now we are on to the movies that I physically own that I watched this month. And first off, it's Studio 666. This is literally a Foo Fighters horror movie. Like that's like exactly what it is. They move into a haunted house to record their new album, and once they get in there, the house like possesses Dave Grohl, and he kills a bunch of the members of the band, and it's really gory, and they poke fun at themselves a whole bunch, and overall, I thought this movie was super great. I don't know, it goes a lot to like show off how much personality the band has and like how willing they are to poke fun at themselves, which I always think is great. Um, I feel like this is streaming somewhere, but I'm not 100%. Uh, but yeah, Studio 666, 100% recommend it. It's just a super goofy horror movie. Yeah, lots of references to other movies, and then yeah, they just poke fun at themselves nonstop, which is, I don't know, refreshing and fun. I thought it was great. So then I watched a couple of movies from Vinegar Syndrome. Oh, I mean, technically this is not a Vinegar Syndrome movie. It's under like one of their umbrella. I guess it's under, yeah, they're the Vinegar Syndrome umbrella. This is a separate label that puts out stuff through Vinegar Syndrome, kinda. Um, and so this is from DeGosser Video, and it is Herencia Diabolica. And I apologize if I massacred that, because I probably did. This movie is I know there's some pictures on the back. This movie's insane. It had a very weird tone. Like it would veer between being super fun and being really boring. Because it's 78 minutes, and somehow it manages to drag in certain scenes. But I did like it overall. It was just bonkers. So basically, the plot is this family inherits a house. In the house, there is a creepy clown doll. And it turns out that the creepy clown doll is possessed by a spirit or the devil or a demon. I don't know. I don't really remember, and I don't know if they ever specify. What I love about this movie is, so first off, this came out in 1993, which you would not get. You wouldn't know that it came out in 93 from watching the movie. This looks like it's early 80s. And so basically, instead of using an animatronic for the clown doll when it comes to life, they go from a shot of the clown doll to a little person dressed as the clown, which is a decision, and it never failed to amuse me. It was something. Yeah. Yeah, like literally as soon as I saw the trailer for this and saw that it was coming out, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy that. So I pre-ordered it, and I wasn't disappointed. It's just kind of a weird vibe to the movie. And yeah, like I said, sometimes it drags, which is insane considering it is 78 minutes. It shouldn't drag at all. But I think that also could have been due to budgetary limitations. Obviously, I don't know. I feel like there might be some special features on here, but I have not checked them out. Let me see. Commentary. Okay, there's an interview, there's a commentary, and that is it. Well, that's fun. I feel like this was kind of cashing in a little bit on like the Child's Play Killer Doll boom. You know, this is like a low budget. Uh, feels weird saying it's a low budget version of that when movies like Puppet Master and Demonic Toys exist. But yeah, this was a low budget cash in on that. I thought it was fun. If you like killer doll movies, definitely give it a shot. It was wild. That same director also made a Mexican. Oh, also, whole movie subtitled. I will say that because it takes place in Mexico. It was directed by a Mexican director. So if foreign films aren't your thing, you have been warned. But that same director also made a horror western called like Rider of the Skull, or Riders of the Skull, or Riders of the Skulls. I don't know. Either way, that's basically the title. And I'm super pumped to watch that. I've picked up a bootleg copy that has subtitles. So at some point in the near future, I will watch that. Wolfman, don't do it. Next up, this was a Vinegar Syndrome release. Hey, little boy. No, move. Get back. Get back. Thanks, bud. This was a Vinegar Syndrome release, and that was Blood Games. This came out in 1990, and it's basically like there's a ladies softball team that goes to a super hick area to play softball, and they beat the hicks, and so the hicks take it upon themselves to torture and hunt the women. And it was pretty gnarly. It was pretty harrowing. But like, I don't know. It also like wasn't like, it's not as bad as like Shallow Grave was, but it was pretty good, pretty gnarly. And yeah, it was just like a lot of people getting killed on both sides. So yeah, definitely one of those movies where it's like you kind of don't know who is going to make it out, which is kind of cool. That's the cover. Here's some pictures from the back. I think it's got a reversible cover as well. It does. And the reversible cover has that, which is kind of cool. Let's see, special features wise, what do you got? Newly restored, playing a tough babe, an interview with actress Laura Albert, playing hardball, an interview with actor Ken Carpenter. Then it's got a trailer and some promotional stills. So kind of bare bones, but you know, I think it was definitely worth watching. It wasn't bad at all. It's 90 minutes, so you know, it doesn't drag. I thought that it was pretty good. I double featured that. We watched the Clown Doll movie and Blood Games on the same night. So, yeah, pretty good. And then the final movie that I watched, which I thoroughly loved, I thought it was great. That is Poor Things. So I will preface this by saying this is not gonna be for everybody, like at all. And there is a lot of very graphic nudity and lots of stuff like that. So like, if you don't want to watch a movie that has a ton of nudity and sex and explicit content and what have you, this is not the movie for you. But if you are looking for a very weird, quirky, hilarious movie, this is it. It's got, I mean, a pretty crazy cast. Emma Stone, obviously, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, a couple other people that I don't want to spoil because if you know who they are, you'll be like, where are they? Up until they show up. But those are the main three, right? It was a little over 2 hours. it's just interesting because it was directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. I think I said his name right. I don't know. And so I've seen another movie that he did, which is The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is one of the most awkward and uncomfortable movies I've ever seen. So I guess it's kind of fitting that he went on to make this, which is also very awkward and uncomfortable, but in a way more pleasant way. I would watch this again. Killing of a Sacred Deer, I would have to, like, think about it if I was going to watch it again, because it's pretty awkward and strange. But I liked it. But this I thought was a lot better. I mean, yeah, just the, like, makeup and everything that they did on Willem Dafoe, and then how the world looks like it's almost like oh my god, oh, I feel like such an idiot. It almost reminded me of, like, Wes Anderson in a way, but, like, it's distinct from him. It's not copying Wes Anderson, but it's almost in that same wheelhouse when it comes to, like, the set design and stuff. And plot-wise, I mean, it's almost like a Frankenstein story, except that Emma Stone was the one that's kind of brought back, and then she grows as a character as the film goes on, and she goes from kind of being, like, almost like a toddler to being like a adult, and it was really good. I really, really, really liked this movie. I'm happy that it won some Oscars. It definitely deserved it. I know that they already have another movie coming out, the same director and Emma Stone. I think that's coming out in June. I don't remember the name of it right now, but yeah, I'm pumped to see what they do next. And I think they already did a movie together as well that I haven't seen called The Favorite, I believe. But yeah, so Poor Things. It's weird. It's real weird. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it. That was probably, besides Dune, that was probably my favorite movie that I watched last month. So yeah. The next thing that I'm going to do is, I'm waiting on a couple of things to come in, but I want to do, like, a video on anthology series. So, like, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, all the versions of the Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, what have you. So I'm going to do that. And then I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I know one thing. I'm going to try and watch more than 9 movies this month so that I can do a better video. I mean, I still talked for 20 minutes, so hey, I guess, that's better than watching 25 movies and talking for an hour and a half, but I don't know. I just, I wish I had more to talk about. So, without further ado, I'm going to get out of here, but make sure that you're having a good day. Make sure that you're treating each other kindly, and make sure that you're watching some movies. So, heck yeah. See you guys next time.